I've never, ever watched Magnus Carlsen ever play a game of chess ever. So today, that's exactly what we're going to be doing. Reacting to Magnus Carlsen and see if he's actually good or it's just like just made up stuff. So we're going to see him against a Grandmaster, almost 3,000 elo right here. And as you can see, guys, he's pushing the A pawn and the H pawn. Like, I thought this was the #1 rule not to do that. But I guess, and then he takes the pawn, which is the best move. And then he does all of these best moves, by the way. These are all the best moves. And he's finding them. But now here's like a really interesting play. So if they pin the bishop, he was planning to do this line. He sacrificed the bishop to check, then take back the bishop. So then he can move this, and then he can just start giving pressure like this. This is what he was thinking. But instead, his opponent actually didn't do that. He didn't pin the bishop. His opponent actually played this, taking the free pawn. But now Magnus actually shows his, like, brilliancy, bro. Because once this takes, he finds h5, which he takes, which is a brilliant play, leaving the knight hanging. The knight is hanging right now. Because if he takes, he can mate and just destroy and then just keep on going, taking a bishop, moving the knight, then he can just take back the pawn. And then it's just winning for him. He's up 4. But his opponent does not fall for that. Instead, he goes like this, which makes sense, is the best play. The knight moves, and then attacking the knight too, he moves out of the way, and he planned all of this. This is basically all pre-moved. So then, once the king goes there, a rook sacrifice? What? A rook sacrifice? There we go. And then the opponent just doesn't take it, because if they do, it's a checkmate in 1, which is insane. But instead, the opponent plays the normal line, which means that he can sacrifice the rook again, trades, and then does this. And Magnus just wants to get to an end game, I guess. But now, in this position, he sacrifices the bishop. Now, if you take, then it's check, take. It's a fork. So, instead of doing this, his opponent just moves his king. So then he blocks it from the rook, takes, goes over here, and then just like has a knight sacrificed. And then instead of defending his bishop, he plays, of course, the best move, going over here. Now, his opponents are not playing the best moves, but yeah, he's finding good moves every single time. That's the best. And then he can just basically run down the clock. Now the bishop can move, the king can move, the rook, and then basically he just keeps on progressing his pieces further and further up. And keep in mind, he's like double the amount of time the opponent has. This game is actually insane, because now he can take, then he can push, then it's just GG's. And now, once we get into these positions, his opponent resigns, because he already knows he's cooked because of this sequence right here. Just constant checking, just ends with just Magnus winning. His opponent resigned with 0.2 seconds left compared to Magnus's like 15, which is kind of insane. But now, once you're here, it's mate in 16. Now, once everything is cleared up, boom, fork, there. All of these are the best moves, but Magnus can just push his pawn, and then it's made in two. So he basically just be a grandmaster, playing two brilliant moves, playing almost every single move, at least an okay to best. And this is just like a light game for him. He does this for breakfast, bro. This was actually insane. Oh my goodness. Yo, I've never seen Magnus Carlsen, the #1 chess player, play. So, oh my goodness. So if you guys enjoyed, maybe consider subscribing and check out another video.